Ouija boards. I don't know what it is about Ouija boards that scares the crap out of people. I don't know if it's from what we see in movies or what we hear in stories, but there's always something that sends people running. Like me, I've been wanting to do like paranormal investigations for a long time. It's something that I've wanted to bring to you guys for a while. And I don't know what it is, but as soon, like everybody's all
like, yeah, I'm down. Let's go paranormal investigating. Let's go do this.
Yeah.
But as soon as I say Ouija board, like, hey, let's get a Ouija board, they react like this. I don't know what it is about. I honestly, personally have not had any bad experiences with it, but just because I haven't had any bad experiences doesn't mean that I haven't had any paranormal experiences. I've actually had quite a few occurrences in my little rundowns with a Ouija board. So before we get into the story, you guys, if you guys are so far liking what you see here and you want to see more story times or paranormal story times, please feel free to hit that subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so you can be notified when I post. I do post every Monday and Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you guys like Ouija boards or Ouija boards scare you, go ahead and hit a thumbs up as well. Let's get started. I grew up hearing about Ouija boards because of my mom. She's always been very superstitious and very into the paranormal, but like not in like a, oh yeah, I like the paranormal kind of way. It's in like,
Be very careful
kind of way. But either way, regardless, I grew up knowing what Ouija boards were. I remember one time my godmother telling me a story where she was a teenager. She actually played the Ouija board with her friends, and that very night that she went to sleep, she said that she heard like whispering, and she also heard people running right outside her window. And that whole night she just couldn't sleep. After that, she never wanted to touch the Ouija board again. But did that forewarning tale stop me? Of course not. I ended up buying the Ouija board when I was in high school, and my friends and I played it first at my friend's house. We literally bought candles and we were just like, yeah, let's do this thing. And I was just so ready to do this and see what all the hullabaloo and all these horror stories that we hear, what all this was about. I was just so down to try it. I was not scared. I was just so brave, like, yes, let's do this. We all put our hands on the planchette. We're asking questions. We're like, are there any spirits here? And we waited. Nothing happened. And it just got to the point where being a teenager, you're just very impatient, or at least I was. So I ended up grabbing the Ouija board and I chucked it across the room. And my friends looked at me like mouths wide open and they were like, ah! And I was like, what? Like, it's not working. And they were like,
You shouldn't have done that.
but honestly, I was just like, why is this thing not working? And so after that, my friend took it home, and later on, we eventually played it here at my house. And we all sat down. And this was when the Ouija board decided to move. And let me tell you, my house, if you guys have seen like the previous videos that I have about my paranormal experiences here, I mean, I have had some pretty strange stuff happen in this house. So I don't know if it was just because this house is active or what it was, but that's when things got a little funky. So the Ouija board did start to move. It did. The planchette moved, and I had these red walls. So back then my room walls were red and black. Don't ask why. I just loved the colors. And on the walls there was this whoever painted it, it looked almost like there was a man on a wall. And the man was like, literally when I would sleep, the man was like on this side of the wall, like kind of like watching over me. And the man on the wall made out of the paint never scared me. But still, I always thought that it was like an entity. So I was like, who is this man on the wall? And the planet started to move, and I think his name was like Sir Bernard or something like that. And I was like, oh, Bernard. So we started calling the wall Bernard after that. But anyways, nothing, I don't really remember anything else that happened when we were actually playing. But what I do remember was that same night, my mom was watching TV in her room, which was across the hall. That same night that we were playing, and she did not know that we were playing because she would have whipped my she knew. She had told me that when she was watching TV, she told me the next day, she was like, hey, I was watching TV and it felt like somebody laid down next to me. She literally felt like the dent in her bed, like somebody getting into bed with her. The bed squeaked, it went down, and it literally looked like somebody had just rolled into the bed with her. And she wasn't scared, actually. My mom's a pretty brave person, but that happened. So after that, I ended up telling my friend what had happened, and obviously I wasn't keeping the Ouija board here, not because I was scared, but because I was scared of my mom. So he was keeping it at his house, and after hearing that, he was like, yeah, weird stuff has been happening. I don't even remember what was happening with him, but he ended up throwing it away, and he told me that the next day it was back in his room. This is what he told me. I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is just a teenager being a teenager, but he told me that it was back in his room, and so he ended up like burning it or something. So that's my experiences with the Ouija board. I did actually play last year, or I tried to play, but I couldn't play alone because I think you need like 2 people to play, and nobody wanted to play with me. So are Ouija boards real? Honestly, I don't know. You hear so many stories and so many people swear that they are because they experience this and that and that and this, but honestly, there was one video that really like made me think, and it was these group of friends that went to a house, and this house was just an ordinary house. It was a new house, honestly, but they were conducting a social experiment. So they told these group of people this fake history about this supposedly haunted house. But it was all fake. They were like, yeah, her name is Mary, this and that. Like, so then they played the Ouija board. They gave them the Ouija board to play. And then they started doing the Ouija board, and the names were like,
oh, this is Mary, this is like, it
lined up with this fake story that the person had told them. So what people think is that the Ouija board is actually just your subconscious brain moving it. You may not even know that you're moving it, but subconsciously you are. And that board is basically just gearing you toward your subconscious mind. So I guess in a way you are communicating with something kind of cool. You're communicating with your subconscious. Do you guys believe in Ouija boards? Do you guys think that they are a way to communicate with the dead? Or do you guys think that it's all in your subconscious mind? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Again, feel free to subscribe, comment, and like. Also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I will leave the links here. But let's be friends. Let's go ahead and chat. I will reply to you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!